Okay, in the last class, you have learned what is literature review, what is the purpose of literature review, and some of the procedures for reviewing the literature. So do you have any question about what Anjali has taught? If you have any question, you can ask me.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Amit.
Sir, I have one, like Madam told, narrative review, scoping review, and
Yeah,
systematic review.
yeah.
So what is the means like highlighted difference between them, sir?
Okay, today I will discuss this type of literature review. Any
Okay.
other question? Thank you, Amit.
No, no, sir. No. Okay.
Kavita, Mona Lisa.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, one steps, Madam told that the after analysis, we the synthesis of the literature. Sir, what is synthesis of the literature review, sir?
Synthesis means you have covered several studies. Okay. So after analysis of different studies, it is your function to synthesize them. When you want to do the literature review, then you have to pay attention to the different perspectives. Okay. And after that, you have to synthesize. You have to compile all of them. And then you have to tell that this is the research gap. And in this study, I am paying attention to this particular area so that the research gap can be reduced and we can understand some new knowledge through this type of analysis. Okay.
Yes.
Now I am requesting you to go to the Google Classroom. So I am requesting Dharam Singh, please start reading the Scopus Index Journal requirement. Dharam Singh, please start.
Hello, wait for a minute, sir. I am not able to open my Google Classroom.
Everybody must be alert. Okay, Kavita, you can start. After that, Dharam Singh will teach. Hello, Kavita.
Paper, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
start it.
Paper 1, Scopus Indexed Journal Requirements. A Scopus Indexed Journal is a scholarly journal that is included in the Scopus database, a comprehensive abstract and citation database of peer-reviewed journals. Scopus covers a wide range of disciplines, including science, technology, medicine, social science, and humanities. Key points about Scopus indexed journals. Number 1, quality and impact. Being indexed in Scopus indicates that the journal meets certain quality standards, as Scopus evaluates journal based on criteria such as peer review process, citation metrics, and the reputation of the editorial board. Number 2, global recognition. Scopus index journals are recognized globally, making them a preferred choice for researchers and academics who want their work to reach a broad audience. Number 3, citation tracking. Scopus tracks citations of articles published in these journals, allowing researchers to monitor the impact of their work through citation analysis. Inclusion criteria. To be indexed in Scopus, a journal must pass rigorous evaluation process that assess its editorial policy, peer review quality, and publication ethics. Step. Importance for
Okay.
researcher.
So now it is clear that is why we will pay attention to publish the research paper in Scopus Index Journal. So what Kavita has presented, I think this is clear to all of you, or any question?
Sir, what is citation matrix, sir?
Citation tracking. Citation tracking means, suppose you have published one research paper in some Scopus Index journal, and after that, you have given that reference to some of your students, and your students can find out your publication, okay, because your publication has been published in the Scopus database. So Scopus maintains its database, and Scopus can tell you that is how many readers have studied your research paper. So that is the tracking. You can track, that is how many people studied your research paper. Okay. Now, Dharam Singh, please, you read.
Importance for researchers. Publishing in a Scopus Index journal is often required for academic promotions.
No, you will start from guideline.
Okay. So guidelines when writing a literature review for a Scopus Index journal, it is important to adhere to high academic standards and specific guidelines that these journals typically require. Here are some journal instructions and the best practices to follow when preparing a literature review for submission to Scopus Index journal. First, understand the journal's scope and aims. Research the journals. Before writing, review the journal aim and scope to ensure your literature review align with their focus. Scopus Index journals are often specialized, so your review should be relevant to journal's audience. Check previous publications. Read literature reviews previously published in journal to understand the preferred structure, depth, and style. Follow the author guidelines. Strict adherence to the guidelines. Every Scopus journal has specific author guidelines. These include formatting requirements, words count, citation style, submission protocols. Ensure that your manuscript adheres to these instructions. Now, structure requirements. Some journals may have particular structural requirements for literature reviews, such as sections like introduction, methodology, analysis, and discussion. Follow this closely. Third is comprehensive coverage of the topics. Through literature search, conduct a comprehensive search of the literature using academic databases, including Scopus itself. Your review should include seminal work as well as most of the recent studies. Use of high quality sources. Prioritize your peer reviewed article, book, conferences, conference papers from reputed publishers. Avoid relying on grey literature or source outside academic publishing. Fourth is critical analysis and synthesis. Go beyond summary. A literature review should not just summarize existing studies, instead, critically analyze and compare different findings, methodologies, and theoretical approaches. Discuss how the literature fits together, where there are gaps, and how your review contribute to the field. Then identify gaps and future direction. Explicitly highlight gaps in existing literature and suggest areas for future research. Scopus index journals often look for reviews that push the boundaries of current knowledge. Fifth one is clear and logical structure. Introduction. Clearly define the scope and purpose and objective of literature review. State the research question and hypothesis guiding your review. Thematic or chronological organization. Organize the literature thematically by topic or subtopics, or uh, chronologically by development of research over time, depending on what is most logical for your review. Now, critical discussion. Present your critical analysis and synthesis of literature. Discuss conflicting studies, methodological strength and weaknesses, and theoretical implications. Now, conclusions. Summarize the main finding of review. Uh, Reiterate the identified gap and propose future research directions. Now, sixth one is use appropriate citations. Correct citation style. Adhere to the citation style required by the journal, whether it's APA, MLA, Chicago, or another format. Be consistent and throw in thorough in your citations. Avoid plagiarism. Ensure all sources are properly cited, and that your work is original. Use plagiarism detection softwares to verify the originality of your content. Adopt a formal and academic writing style. Clarity and precision. Use clear, concise, and precise language. Avoid jargons unless necessary, and ensure that your writing is accessible to the readers within the field. Now, balanced tone. Maintain an objective and balanced tone, especially when discussing studies with conflicting findings. Provide fair critiques without being overly negative or dismissive. Eighth one is considered ethical standard. First is transparency. Disclose any potential conflict of interest if your review was commissioned or funded. Acknowledge this transparently. Now, ethical citation. Ensure that you credit all source appropriately and avoid self plagiarism if your review builds on previous work you have published. Proofreading and revision. Multiple revision before submission. Revise your review multiple times to improve clarity, coherence, and logic. Seek feedback from colleagues or mentor familiar with the topic. Now, professional proofreading. Consider professional proofreading services, especially in English. If English is not your first language, Scopus Index Journal often have high language standards. Now, last one is prepare for peer review. Anticipate reviewers' questions. Be ready for peer review by anticipating potential criticisms. Address limitations or potential biases in your review within the manuscript itself. Be open to feedback. If your manuscript receives reviewers' feedback, be prepared to make revisions. Respond to feedback thoughtfully and justify your revisions or decisions. Finally, conclusion. Well-structured literature review for Scopus Index Journal requires thorough research, critical analysis, and adherence to the journal's specific guideline. By following these instructions, you increase your chances of successfully publishing in prestigious journal.
So I think now it is clear to have the idea about what are the requirements of Scopus Index Journal and what are the guidelines. The guidelines are given for the author, that is how to prepare your manuscript for publication in the Scopus Index Journal. Now, do you have any question?
Sir, regarding this self citation, if you have any literature, our own.
Yes, if you have your own research paper, that thing you can add.
If it is relevant to the
yeah, but the particular topic.
Yes.
If it is relevant, then you can add it. When you want to publish any research paper, it is your function to study the author guidelines. Of the specific journal. Okay. For example, you want to study the effect of some antidepressive drug on major depressive disorder. Naturally, you have to pay much attention to the major depressive disorder, the epidemiology of the major depressive disorder, the impact of major depressive disorder on the society at large, and you have to pay attention to the different drugs, psychotropic drugs used for antidepressant. And what are their limitations? So these things are very important. Provided this journal is about the Journal of Clinical Psychology, a Journal of Abnormal Psychology, or Journal of Psychology. But if it is the Journal of Pharmacy, then your first attempt will be on the existing literature about the antidepressive drug, their compositions, their uses, cost-benefit analysis, etc. That means when you want to publish any research paper in any journal, first you have to study it is who are the readers of that journal. In management terms, I can tell that is the niche market. The niche market of your journal, that is the most important part. Okay. This is important. And if you want to present this paper about the composition of the antidepressant drug, their cost-benefit analysis, etc., in the psychology journal, the psychology journal editor may not accept it because the niche market of the psychology journal is not interested in this particular topic. Therefore, you have to pay much attention to the coverage area of your research topic. This is clear to all? Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir, how to begin with any topic, like once there is a broad area which you are choosing, then like how to
For
say?
that reason,
Yes.
first thing is the observation. What is your observation? And then you will do some small experiment, and try to find out that is what is the outcome of your experiment. After that, you will do the literature review. Once upon a time, I published one book, Principles of Questionnaire Development, that will be available in Amazon. There you can find out one chapter, Exploring Research Variables. How do you explore the research area? In that book, I have written several procedures. Currently, I do not have any copy so that I can discuss this issue. But this is the procedure.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Basically, what we tend to look in the consumer behavior or the consumer outlook at a product, maybe we try to find out what consumers think of a recent type of garment line or maybe design line. So will that book be generic in nature to develop questionnaire for the survey and all?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because nowadays, the consumer attitude to the product
Yes.
that is changing due
Exactly.
to the exposure of different similar types of products. Okay. Therefore, consumer attitude is changing. Even the consumer attitude related to their lifestyle. So the purchasing behavior of the consumer depends upon the lifestyle. Depends upon the lifestyle. For example, nowadays you will find that is people are buying very costly mobile. Okay. Because they can give the money to the bank regularly. Some small amount of money from the salary, so they can give this money to the bank. And bank is always facilitating the EMI. So the issue is lifestyle is the factor. Okay. EMI, you will find EMI in almost all the shopping malls. You will find EMI. Even the e-market, you will find EMI is there. So everywhere EMI is there. So that part you can study. That is, who are the people who prefer EMI and who do not prefer EMI. That thing you can study.
But for that reason, we first need to know that what actually the driving force. Like you mentioned, that EMI banks are ready to give the loan or people are ready to pay the EMI. So that thing I have to first know that, well, this is the thing. Then I can go for the bifurcation into more detail, right?
Yeah, you should have developed some research question. Based upon my own observation, I am telling you that is the young generation,
Okay.
usually they follow the EMI technique.
Okay.
Now, I am sharing the types of literature. Okay. Okay, Shayun, now you can read.
Yes, sir. Paper 1, types of literature review. Just a second, sir. I'm seeing only from 4.
Yeah, please.
From 1. A literature review is a crucial component of the research process for several reasons. Number 1, establishes context and background. A literature review provides a comprehensive overview of existing research on a topic. It helps to establish the context and background of the study by summarizing what is already known and highlighting gaps in the current knowledge. Number 2, identifies gaps in research. By reviewing the literature, researchers can identify gaps, inconsistencies, or areas where further research is needed. This helps in defining the research problem and justifying the study's significance. Number 3, avoids duplication. A thorough literature review ensures that the research is original and not duplicating previous studies. It helps the researcher to build upon existing knowledge rather than repeating what has already been done. Number 4, informs research design and methodology. Reviewing previous studies helps in understanding the methodologies, techniques, and tools used by other researchers. This can guide the selection of the most appropriate methods for the current study. Number 5, supports hypothesis development. The literature review provides a foundation for developing research questions and hypotheses. It helps to frame the study within a theoretical framework or identify theories relevant to the research. Number 6, enhances credibility and reliability. A well-conducted literature review demonstrates the researcher's understanding of the field, which adds credibility to the study. It shows that the research is grounded in existing knowledge. Number 7, facilitates the interpretation of findings. By comparing the study's findings with those of previous research, the literature review helps in interpreting and contextualizing the results, making them more meaningful. In summary, a literature review is essential for grounding research in the existing body of knowledge, guiding the research design, and ensuring the study's contribution to the field. Shall I
Thank
continue,
you.
sir?
No.
Okay.
Now I am asking you what Shayan has read. Any question? This is clear now. Avoid duplication, gaps in research. What will be the research design and methodology? Hypothesis development, credibility, reliability. Okay, so now it is clear to all of you. Okay, Amit, now you did types of literature review.
Sir, actually, I am in traveling, sir.
Okay,
I
okay.
can't please answer. Sorry, sir.
Okay, so who can read? Okay, Kavita, please read it.
Types of literature review. Literature reviews are a fundamental component of research. Finding a comprehensive overview of existing knowledge on a particular topic. Depending on the purpose, scope, and methodology, literature reviews can take various forms. Here are the primary types of literature reviews. Number one, narrative literature review. A narrative literature review, also known as a traditional or descriptive review, provides a broad overview of a topic without following a systematic methodology. It summarizes and synthesizes existing literature to give context to the research question. This type of review often focuses on identifying themes, trends, or gaps in the literature, but does not typically include a detailed research strategy or criteria for selecting studies.
Okay. So narrative literature review, mainly the summarization or synthesization of the existing literature. And there are different strategies, particularly for systematic literature review. So that is not considered in the narrative literature review. They are giving much attention to the summarizing, compilation, and synthesizing the previous studies. Now next.
Steps of narrative literature review. A narrative literature review provides a comprehensive overview of a topic by summarizing and synthesizing the findings from various studies without employing a systematic or quantitative approach. Here are the typical steps involved. Number one, identifying the topic and research question. Clearly define the scope and focus of your review. Identify the key research question or theme you intend to explore. Number two, conduct a preliminary search. Perform an initial research, literature search to get an overview of the existing search on your topic. This helps to refine your research question and identify relevant sources. Number 3, select relevant literature. Choose studies, books, articles, and other academic sources that are pertinent to your topic. Focus on sources that offer diverse perspective and significant contributions to the field. Number 4, organize the literature. Group the select literature into themes, subtopic, or chronological order. This organization will help in structuring your review logically. Number 5, analyze and synthesize. Critically evaluate the selected literature, identifying key findings, trends, gaps, and inconsistencies. Synthesize this information to present a cohesive narrative that reflects the current state of knowledge on the topic. Number 6, write the review. Begin with an introduction that outlines the purpose and scope of the review. Follow with the main body where you present your analysis and synthesis of the literature. Conclude by summarizing the key findings, discussing the implications, and suggesting area for future research. Number 7, revise and edit. Review your draft from clarity, coherence, and accuracy. Ensure that your review presents a well-organized and insightful discussion of the literature. Number 8, cite the sources. Provide proper citations for all the literature reviewed, following the required citation style such as APA, MLA, or Chicago. This approach allows for a broad and comprehensive exploration of the literature, making it suitable for understanding the context and development of a particular research topic. Purpose: to provide a general overview and highlight major themes. Strengths: flexible, allow for a broad exploration of a topic. Weakness: may be prone to bias, lacks of systematic approach, and might miss relevant studies.
Okay.
Number 2.
No, that is okay. আজকে আমরা এখানেই শেষ করব। তো যেটা মানে what is that the narrative literature review? So we have covered few steps of the narrative literature review. Specifically, it gives a clear idea about the themes of research conducted earlier. And during discussion of the theme, you have to pay attention to the different limitations of the theme or the perspective. Another one is the how different developments occur in considering the limitation of the study. Okay. Now, any question? Okay, Kavita, now you can continue too. Time is there.
Systematic literature review. A systematic literature review follows a rigorous and structured methodology to identify, select, and critically appraise all relevant studies on a specific research question. It aims to minimize biases by following predefined criteria for searching, screening, and analyzing the literature. This type of review is often used in healthcare, psychology, and social sciences to inform evidence-based practice. Steps of systematic literature review. A systematic literature review, SLR, involves a structured and comprehensive approach to identify, evaluate, and synthesize research evidence on a specific topic. Here are the typical steps involved in conducting an SLR. Number 1, define the research question. Formulate a clear, focused research question using the PICO, that means population, intervention, comparison, outcome, framework, or a similar method. Example, what are the effects of intervention on outcome in population?
Now, here you can find out that systematic literature review is very much useful in medical or in health-related journals, because in the medical or health-related journals, you will find the effect of different interventions on the behavior. Therefore, you have to pay much attention to the PICO, that is the population, intervention, comparison, and outcome. So this is vital. Next is number 2.
Develop a protocol. Outline the methods and criteria for the review in a protocol. This includes inclusion and exclusion criteria, example, study type, publication date, language. Databases to be searched, search strategy, keywords, Boolean operators. Conduct a comprehensive search.
Now, Boolean operators, that includes the plus minus sign for searching the specific type of research in the Google Scholar, ResearchGate, or ScienceDirect.com, or PubMed, etc. Okay. For example, you want to study the depression, and the word depression is applicable in case of the economic. That is a concept of economic depression. Okay. Therefore, you have to write down depression minus economics. Okay. Then what will be, you will get the several sources of your research related to the depression, that is unrelated to the economic depression. Therefore, you can use the Boolean operator for the keywords. Okay. Next.
Conduct a comprehensive search. Search multiple databases such as PubMed, Scopus, Web of Science using predefined keywords and search strings. Include grey literature and manual searches of reference list.
So
Number
this
4.
gray literature means the technical reports. Okay. Technical reports of different research institutes. So that can be considered as the gray literature.
There also policies, policy manual.
Yeah, the government has some policy manual, so that you can add also as the gray literature. Next.
Screen and select studies. Title and abstract screening. Initial screening of titles and abstracts against inclusion/exclusion criteria. Full text searching. Full text screening. Detailed review of full text articles to determine final eligibility. Number 5, assess the quality of studies. Use standardized tools such as Cochrane risks of bias tool, GRADE to assess the methodological quality and risks of bias in included studies. Consider factors like study design, sample size, and measurement validity. Extract relevant data from each study using a standardized form. Key data may include study characteristics such as author, year, location, population details, intervention, outcomes, and results, statistical data for meta-analysis if applicable. Synthesize findings. Qualitative synthesis summarize key themes, patterns, and gap across studies. Quantitative synthesis, meta-analysis, if data permits, statistically combine results using meta-analysis to derive pooled estimates. Report the results. Structure the review according to guideline like PRISMA, preferred reporting item for systematic reviews and meta-analysis. Include sections like introduction, methods, result, discussion, and conclusion. Number 9, interpret and discuss findings. Discuss the implications of the findings, including strengths, limitations, and relevance to practice or policy. Identifying gap for future research. Number 10, update the review if necessary. Systematic reviews should be periodically updated to include new evidence, particularly in rapidly evolving fields. This step ensures that the literature review is thorough, transparent, and reproducible, minimizing bias and enhancing the reliability of the conclusion drawn. Purpose: to provide a comprehensive, unbiased summary of the available evidence on a specific question. Strength: high level of rigor, reduces bias, reproducible. Weakness: time-consuming, requires expertise in systematic review methods.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So any question? Any question about the steps of systematic literature review?
Sir, I heard a term PRISMA. So could you explain on that?
Yeah, I will discuss later on. Huh?
Okay.
Prisma is the protocol that will be in our syllabus. Yeah, I will discuss. Except Prisma, I think there is no problem. No? It is clear, very systematically it has been discussed. Okay. Farah, is there any class today? Hello, Farah.
Yes, sir. We have class, sir, now. Applied
Now,
psychometric.
applied psychometrics. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, student. Now you can leave. We have another class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, please stop the recording, sir.
Oh.